Hello, and welcome to the newest episode of the Drive Home Podcast. The podcast where I'm the only one who needs to buckle up. Tonight, as per usuals right now, I've got out at 8. I stopped by Walmart to pick up some stuff because I can't really afford to do much else. And I need dinner food. And it's not healthy, and I hate it. I like eating it, but it's not healthy, and I hate that it's just so darn effective, so to speak. But if I ever, I used to do this a lot. Well, when I say used to, there's just a gap in between when I have been and haven't been doing it. But I will go to Walmart and I'll buy one of their French toast, I think it's like a Great Value thing or something. Cinnamon or French toast sticks, cinnamon flavored or whatever. And so I can eat those. Uh-oh. Huh. Oh, shoot. Police car's going somewhere. Oh, and there's more. Well, ain't that just surprising. Anyway, I had an okay day. I looked at my schedule for the next week, and it don't look so good, not gonna lie. I work 3 days. I get 12 and a half hours. And it's not to be mistaken, I get paid around $15 an hour, maybe. And that's because of a premium. So, I'm not exactly raking in the money right now. My birthday is coming up, so that should be fun. My birthday is a little bit after the 4th of July, so it's always fun to watch fireworks one week and then the next week you get a cake. And sometimes, if some of my family is lazy, which is completely fair, they'll do it all in one, because usually we have our family, so one of our relatives, and the house has been in the family for, it was my great-grandfather's house, and then when he died, my grandmother sort of took ownership of it, and then my aunt sort of started living there and stuff. And so my aunt lives there now. But every year we'll go up there on the 4th, or every year that I remember that we do celebrate it, and we'll set off fireworks, because it's a lake house, so to speak. It's not nothing special. Well, I guess it's a pond house, realistically, because it's a pond. But there's a bank out back, sort of. There's a steep hill, and then at the bottom of the hill is the pond. And since launching fireworks above ponds is apparently what we do for fireworks, that's what we do. And it's kind of like a cookout as well, because at the top of the hill, there's a flat area, because that's where the driveway is. So we'll have a grill and stuff. And it's a whole party. And I don't know if we'll be doing that this year, just because apparently there's some issues between my aunt and my father. So it's my aunt versus my father and my uncle. And I don't really want to get into that. But it was... I don't really know if they sorted it out yet or not, but it's just something that is estranging the family. And you know, I'm choosing to not really be a part of it. Because it's... I mean, for one, I don't understand the specifics of it, because it's... So my grandmother sort of owned a lot of the properties that we have, I guess. Like, she was very important, and she passed away 2 years ago, I believe. And well, 2.5 years ago, or I guess 1.5 years ago. But the important part of that is that my dad and my aunt, and then my dad and my uncle have a disagreement about... So my aunt was technically living in that house, but it was still my grandmother's, and my aunt thinks that... But the way I know of it is that... The way my father explained it to me is that the house itself, like, they're trying to figure out how to divide the house and the rest of the stuff, I guess. Because my grandmother lived in a completely different house, which I guess has been sold or is being sold. I am not sure. Which sucks, because that house is a very nice house. It just sucks because, I guess, well, I guess if my uncle moved in there, because his house isn't really part of the family's, as far as I know. Because he used to live in a house that I think was sort of like, used to be owned by our family, but he moved out at some point. Because, well, he had a girlfriend, then he got married, and I have a little cousin now. But I don't know if that house is significant in one way or another, and I don't know if they'd want to move into my grandmother's old house. But it's a very nice house. Depending on what you do with the floor space, it's a little cramped or it's not, and there's like it's sort of an old-fashioned-y kind of place. If I remember correctly, the story about it, my grandfather built it for my grandmother, and him, of course, but it was, I think that's what the story was. And, well, my father currently lives in his great-grandfather's old house. And so with, like, there's a lot of complicated house stuff going on, and it's, I don't know, it's like, with money being the way it is in the United States right now, it's not easy. It's not easy. Everyone has their own separate jobs and stuff, and not everyone makes a lot of money. And so it's hard to get by. And but from what I know, the argument is between who should get the house that my aunt is currently living in. And to me, it just seems like, with that base argument alone, knowing nothing else, that my aunt has lived there for a while, you know? If she's willing to be like, yeah, like, just, you know, I'll take ownership of it, and then it'll be mine and whatever, then sure. Like, if she wants to take on that burden, so to speak, of, like, fully owning that house, then yeah. At least I think that's what her point is. And then my father didn't really say too much, but him and my uncle don't really agree for some reason. I guess it might be because there's one room in particular that might be of interest to all three of them. So my family is a big NASCAR family. They're also big on sports, so all three of them, and they're all siblings, so all three of them share interests in the Boston Bruins, and to a lesser extent the Red Sox, and to an in-between extent the New England Patriots, I believe, or maybe the football and hockey are intertwined, or even. I'm not entirely sure, but they're also all fans of NASCAR, which I feel like I don't need to explain. But a quick rundown is, Lightning McQueen from the movie Cars and its sequels? It's essentially that. But the cars don't talk. Right? So, I guess that's an easy way to reference it. But yeah, no, cars go around in an oval shape a certain number of times, and the one who does it the fastest wins, or something. So, but there is a room in my great grandfather's, which is where my aunt is currently living. Well, my great grandfather passed away when I was young, so it hasn't really been his for a while. But that's sort of how I talk about it sometimes. But my aunt's been living there for a long time, so it's just basically her house. Like, for most of my life, I would say at least probably around 14 years, if not more. And I'm only 20, so something like that, something around there. A majority of my life. So, but there's this room that doesn't really get used much because it's in the basement and it's in a weird spot, and the house has always been full of junk. I say junk, just stuff. It's an old house, and at some point you're just like, well, this is the basement. It's kind of creepy. But there's this room full of I don't think it's just NASCAR memorabilia, but there's a stand, a cardboard cutout of a NASCAR driver or something, and some other more interesting stuff that I can't remember. At least there was when I first remember seeing that room. Although I don't remember if I was super allowed in there at any point. I just remember because there's a window. So the basement is sort of also the first floor. It's weird because so the house is on a hill, of course, but so at the top of the hill that goes down to where the pond is, to where we set off fireworks, there's a back door that leads into the basement level, which is also where the garage is. And then there's an upstairs, and that's where all the kitchen and the bedrooms and living room and all that jazz are. So, but it's a pretty small house, all things considered. But I used to spend summers there with my aunt and my brother growing up. Well, I say summers. It's not like I was there 24/7 or really spent the night all that much, but my dad had to work a lot during the day, and so did my mother, and there was a weird deal that, because I think I was doing math wrong or something, or I was doing it right, And so it ended up being that I would spend me and my brother would spend 3 weekends with our dad in a row, and 1 weekend with our mother, but only during the summer. My car doesn't have any lights on. Yay, green. But, I don't know. The whole thing's like a real hassle to like think about and deal with, and but I don't know. I just hope they can get along again. I hope they work it out at some point. Like, it was so bad that my aunt didn't show up for last Christmas, and for my brother's birthday, which already happened, which was in April. She came up to my mother's on a day that he wasn't working to give him his stuff. Which, just as a brief refresher, like most of my main family all lives like 2 towns away. It's like it's not super, it's like a 20 to 30 minute drive to get from there to here. But still. I just like, and I don't know if she knows that we know, but my father told us about it. Well, my father told me about it, and I informed my brother, and I was just like, just don't bring it up if we ever see her. Just like, I don't want to be a part of that. That's complicated, and maybe I could help resolve it, but I doubt it. Because if it was as simple as how my dad explained it to me in the brief way that he did, then I feel like there wouldn't be such a problem. If it were that easy, I don't think so. And then there's also this thing where, like, when my grandmother was still alive in the last couple of years, she was going a little, I don't want to say senile, but she couldn't take care of herself too well, and she wouldn't let other people into her house. And so we had to get, my dad, my aunt, and my uncle had to, like, and I guess my step-aunt too, had to take turns taking care of her. And at some point, we had my Chilean uncle, so to speak, come up, and that was nice because him and his wife came up to spend some time, and so they got to they could help take care of my grandmother, which really helped. But they're supposed to be, oh wait, are they moving into my grandmother's house? That might be the case. It's a little sad, but I guess if it stays in the family, that's what's important, I guess. And like, they're not related by blood, but I might have spoken of them before, but so the person who I call my uncle, my Chilean uncle, he was a transfer student or something, and he lit at the time that he was like learning in our area. He was staying with my grandmother, so he sort of became part of the family. And I must have met him when I was younger, but I honestly can't remember. So I met him, I've met him like twice so far. So it was like about 2 years ago. He was up here right before, with his wife. He was up here then for like right a little bit before my grandmother passed away. But I think I think from what, unless if plans had fallen through, I think they're supposed to move up here because their kids that they have grown up. So I guess they're planning to move up here at some point. Just have to finalize some stuff for their house back in Chile, but so that's cool. And they make this cool, or well, his wife made this cool bread that I had. She gave out at some point. It was really interesting. I can't remember how it tastes in particular, but it was good. Well, it kind of looked like bread, but I'm not sure what it was. Kind of muffiny, but like it was just bread. Which is a muffin, but I'm usually accustomed to, like, chocolate chip muffins, blueberry muffins, muffins with stuff on it or in it or something. But it was just like bread. It tasted good. I liked it. I'd eat it again, but I don't know what it was. So, but I hope my family can figure their stuff out. Honestly, and yeah, well, I do. So, family troubles, I guess. They had to start at some point. Thank you all for listening to this relatively somber, I guess. This sad episode. This is sad. It's just sad. Thank you for listening to this sad episode of the Drive Home podcast. I hope you got something out of it. I don't want to say I hope you enjoyed it, because that's a little weird, but if you did get something out of it, do the like and stuff and all that, or don't. I don't know. Thank you all for listening, and I'll see you again in the next episode. Bye.